Hi. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I'm sorry I'm late. My name is Lisa Dublin. I am a health and life coach. And, yeah, I help you to live, to speak, and to lead with confidence because why should you not win in life? You deserve to win. You know why? Because you're all that. Yes, you are. You absolutely are. And this morning, we want to continue the topic of start with who you are. And I want to ask the question, what do you believe to be true about you this morning? So, you guys, I actually have a quiz that I put together that I'd like to share with you. Hey, Vanessa, how are you doing? Are you still in Texas, my friend? So, you guys, I'm trying something different this morning. So, I'm going live on Instagram, like just full on, like, going directly live on Instagram and everywhere else on my two YouTube channels, on Facebook, on LinkedIn. Let's see if this works. The topic this morning is what do you believe to be true about you? I want to tell you a story. I love stories. Who doesn't love stories, right? I want to tell you a story of my own journey into self love. And some of you might be able, especially the ladies, some of you might be able to recognize yourself there. Okay. So you guys, if you see me looking, I kind of have to figure out how this Instagram and the two screens is gonna work. Let's see if it works. Okay. I have a healthy sense of my worth and of who I am right now. But it wasn't always the case. Okay. And welcome to all the Girl Success Club as well. Hi Faye, how you doing? Good morning on LinkedIn. I do. Right now, I believe I am blessed and highly favored, above only and not beneath, the head and not the tail. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. I believe I have nothing missing and nothing broken. And I am far from perfect. But I'm starting from that understanding that God made me. If He said those things about me, they have to be true. And that, you know what? I always give the analogy, and I'm coming to the story. I always give the analogy that if you have a BMW, okay, are you going to use the manual from a Toyota to run the BMW? No, you're not going to do it. But what we do is that we try to run our lives and our identity based on what we think we are, what other people say about us, what the world tells us is right. That is what we take as the truth, forgetting to go to the person who made you. That's the truest truth. There is this story, and that's not my story. There is a story of Henry Ford seeing a Ford vehicle on the side of the road and stopping and, just being able in tutus to help the driver because he made it and he knows it inside out. So I'm going to trust what God said about me. I have come to that understanding, Instagram and everywhere else. I have come to that understanding by trial and error and also by recognizing what does not work. So back at university, by now you my stories about university are legendary because you realize that was my Waterloo. That was one of the deepest learnings of my life and all of these things that I went through. Okay. But back in at university, I almost married somebody. Oh my goodness, I almost married the wrong person. And it turns out that he was just not the person for me. And one of the things that he succeeded, I think, in doing was that by the time I was done with the relationship, I didn't even recognize myself. Has that ever happened to you? I I looked different. I wasn't dressing up just because of the subtle. Now he would not come and say them outright. Some guys are like very bold and tell you like, okay, you're not good enough. I think you're ugly, whatever. No, this one was more subtle because I think maybe if he had come directly, it might have. I would have just simply seen it in my face. Sometimes it's more subtle the things that people tell you, the little swipes, the things that they don't say, the things that they let slide and the labels come on you that you're not good enough, that you're not attractive, you're not pleasant, something's wrong with you. Before you know it, these labels become part of your identity. And when your identity is set, then you begin to have a different kind of behavior and appearance and all of those things. By the time we were done in the relationship, I didn't recognize myself. I was dressing differently. I was very dowdy and okay, yeah, intellectual, but intellectual doesn't have to be dowdy. Oh my goodness, right? And so I realized after leaving that relationship that I had a lot of work to do in terms of, figuring out who I was. And that's when a lot of things happened for me, giving my life to Christ, sticking to like trying to learn to get this right. Because if I was the common denominator in all of these failed relationships and attracting a certain kind of guy, guess what? Maybe if I changed, then the offering would also change. And that's exactly what happened. And so that is a bit of my story. I'll go more into it. You sense my hesitation a little bit, right? But I'm happy I didn't marry him. I'm happy, like, he did what he did and I recognized it, came out of it, came out better. All right, every girl out there, whoever left the wrong relationship, say amen. That's how it works. And it also works the other way as well, as in sometimes women are in great relationships and the things that they do to their partners, the things that they say make those men feel small and feel like they're not good enough. And that's something we also have to watch. It's also not good. Even whether you're male or female, you actually have to do the work of knowing yourself for yourself. And so this morning I've got a jar. It's usually in the back here, okay? But I sometimes use it in my coaching because I help you with identity. I help you with coming to an understanding of who you are. And if you want to, who God says you are. Okay. And here's something that is sometimes it's really sad, but it works. Okay. I want you to today take 5 or 10 minutes and write down everything that you think about yourself. Okay. Write down everything that you think is true about you. Just write down everything, okay? And then over the next week, take each of those statements. So write them down, cut them up, okay? And we're going to decide. So what you think is what you think, but you actually have the right and the power to decide what you're going to keep and what you want to change, because that is possible. Many times we see things happening in our lives and we don't know why they're happening, right? Instagram, we don't know. Well, why is it I keep on having the same kinds of friends? Why is it I keep on attracting the same kind of partner who perhaps cheats or leaves me or doesn't treat me right? Or why is it I seem to attract people who love me? There's that too. It's not always negative. I bet you when you do this exercise, you will as much pat yourself on the back as you will realize the areas where you also need to work. And that is okay. That's just fine. That's just how it is. Okay. So, first things first, let me just put before we do the exercise. Guess what I did? I did this weekend. I put together a lovely short little self-love quiz, and I'm going to type it in here and let's see if it shows up everywhere. And I really would like you, Instagram, you can go to my profile and you'll see the self-love quiz, and you can just click there. It will take you like 5 minutes. Okay, just a couple questions that will just kind of give you a sense of whether you really don't like yourself, whether you just think you're okay, or whether you are thrilled to be you. And you want to be thrilled to be you, because why not? God loves you. I mean, he his son died for you. He thinks you're a big thing. You want to get to that point where you think that about yourself. So that little quiz, I'll keep on putting it up every single day this week, because next week we'll do something different. But go take the quiz and see where you line up, and check your email after, because the responses and the interpretation is going to be there. So that's very important. So this is what you're going to do today, right? Many times we do a couple things. Many times we overestimate ourselves. So I once did a seminar and did this exercise, and somebody just wrote, I am perfect. Okay? If you think you're perfect, put it in here. I'm perfect. That's definite. So, and no matter what we asked, whatever, and I could see that she was, just not wanting to deal with certain things. As far as she was concerned, she was perfect. Is that you today? I hope you don't think perfect is boring. When you see the edges and where the stitching comes undone, that's when the humanity comes through. It's not when I come telling you, oh yeah, I got this. But when I say to you, there was a time that I didn't know myself, and because I didn't know myself, what somebody said to me changed the way that I saw myself, to the point where I was dressing differently and not thinking about myself as anything beautiful and valuable. Then you have some way for us to connect. And then you have hope that if I could have come from that to now being very sure on gently insisting on being myself. That's my new thing. I have a poem, and it's on my website, my YouTube channel, my poetry channel. You can check it out there. Gently insist on being yourself, because you're okay. You're starting from that point, and it's when you have the confidence to say, hey, I might not be perfect, but I'm okay. That it is from that starting point that you are able to change the things that you want to you didn't see it, Faye? Oh no, you didn't? Okay, I'm gonna put it up after. Let me see if I can do that now. Let me see. I put it here. I'm not sure why it's not showing, but I'm gonna put it up. So let's go. What do you think about yourself? I'm gonna do mine. And we have two categories of things. We say things mindlessly. I have stopped saying that I am forgetful. You know why? Because what I say about myself is what obtains and what comes true and what continues to be perpetuated. Okay? So, for example, I love to say that I am lovable. That's one thing I did not believe about myself. But now the L in my name stands for lovable. I'm lovable. I believe that. When I stand on stage to speak, when I come out here to go live, I believe that there are people who want to hear what I have to say. My self image is such that in my mind I call myself by my nickname at home, because I love me. This is home for me. You have to be home for yourself. And so this is just a discovery exercise. Write down everything that you think about yourself. Everything good and bad. Okay, and the quiz, if the quiz doesn't pop up, I'm going to put it in the chat, and I'm going to put it on my profiles everywhere after. I'll figure it out today. So make sure you have notifications enabled for me, so on wherever you follow me, so whenever I post something, and I'm not going to be, hey Renelle, how are you, I'm not going to be just blitzing people. Okay, I'm going to put things of value. So make sure you have notifications enabled, so when I go live, you can see, and so on. So you guys, everybody can hear me too, right? Everybody can hear me, okay? Write down everything that you think about yourself, and the next couple days, decide what you're gonna keep. I talk about this exercise a lot. Just doing a thought download on a daily basis as a way of getting thoughts from your mind to paper, and just kind of looking at things like, what am I thinking today? Now you're gonna do the same thing for what do you think about yourself? Okay. And so when you do that, the next step is to look at, is this true? Is this not true? What do I want to keep? What do I think, you know, I want to change. And what is good? The things that you say that are good about yourself, you put them in the jar. Okay? I'm lovable goes in there. What else? Well, I'm putting down mine. I don't have to say it out loud, but you kind of have to flex. And I hope when in your own quiet moments, even though you're not really like saying it out loud, but even in your moments that you're crushing on yourself, you're loving what God gave you. You like, oh my goodness, I would not want to be anybody else. So that is part of the exercise. So do this exercise today. Okay, take a couple minutes. I've got my stickies here, and I'm just going to be writing out what I think about myself, and take a look at them. So I put out the quiz yesterday, and I began to get some responses. And I realized, and of course the answers vary, but you can tell looking at your responses how you feel about yourself. And you'll find evidence for your attitude towards yourself in your life. If you're thrilled about yourself, you probably have people in your life who are also thrilled about you, right? If you just feel that you are okay, all right, no big thing. Maybe I never thought about it. Maybe I don't want to. There's this kind of very self deprecating kind of, I don't want to say everything that I am, because to do that is boasting. However, be very careful, because those same people have no trouble saying the bad about them. What's that about? If we are going to be honest, it really is to look at the good, the bad, to have a measured objective. I don't know if you can be objective about yourself, but to have some kind of understanding of like, hey, I'm 50-50. I'm good and bad. I have things I need to change, and I have things that are awesome and excellent about me, and that is okay. That's just fine. So here's the next thing that I want to end on. I was thinking about this. How is it that we end up treating people the way we treat ourselves? Hurt people hurt other people. People who love themselves and give themselves the benefit of the doubt give other people grace. And when, like, just preparing for this month and this topic, like my last week when we ended resilience and I put out my video, go check it out if you haven't already. It's on my YouTube channel, Lisa M. Dublin. When I had a discussion, it led to speaking about forgiveness. And it's all related. If you are somebody who gives yourself grace and forgives yourself when you mess up, you are more apt to forgive other people. And it made me think about that link, the link between that behavior and what the Bible talks about loving other people as you love yourself. It makes a lot of sense. So the other thing that has happened since, like, even my love walk has increased, and that's because of Christ. God is the one who makes you love people. Because I don't know that I really like people. I don't know that I really, as especially as a teenager, as an adolescent, and all of the, oh my gosh, let's just leave me alone. But now I feel like I'm in love with people, even though, we bad mind, we all of those things. I feel like I'm in love with people and delighting in them because of what God has put in them, right? And that has helped me even as a coach. It has helped me as a human being, as a wife, as a mother. It has helped me as a friend to delight in people. But that did not come, I don't think that comes without the love of Christ. That's the first thing. And it got me thinking about, if I love myself a certain way, I'm going to love other people the same way. Some people are selfish in their love in terms of them being very, they love themselves. You're a big deal, Barbara. Yes, Barbara, I know you are. It shows, my friend. Go ahead. When you know you love yourself is when people are like, what does she think she has? When people are like that, then you know you're onto something. And it's like, who do you think you are? We find ourselves saying that about people who really love themselves. I know people say that about, but I don't care. No, 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 you're supposed to think that. You're supposed to think, who does she think she is? And I hope people say the same thing about you. Who does she think she is? Who does he think he is? That's when you know you're doing something right. And it doesn't depend on what other people say about you. It depends on what you say about yourself and what you believe to be true. So going back to my last point, before Miss Barbara came and just, put a little sauce in there. Thank you, Barbara. The thing is, sometimes we like to give people the worst of us. And when you're in a relationship with friends, partners, whatever, they don't often want to tell you the bad that you do. And I find loving other people as I love myself is something of a check and balance, to check when I am doing wrong by other people and them not even wanting to tell me. Has it ever happened to you that you like pepper sauce is specific? Yes, Miss Barbara. Yes, you are. Like, you're just living life with somebody, a friend, but maybe there might be you know in just incursions on that person's maybe time or expertise. Maybe you find yourself maybe taking advantage when you shouldn't be. And even though that person doesn't say it, you have a responsibility as somebody who knows love. You have a responsibility to draw back and to check yourself and to realize that what you're doing is not right. What you're doing is not right. Hey, Susie, how are you? That's part of the love walk, recognizing when even though the other person is accepting of what I give, then I still have a responsibility to check myself and say, I would not want to be treated like that. Let me stop. And many people are selfish in love in terms of, I love myself, but I'm not going to love you the way that I love myself. I will take advantage of you if I can. And like, I hate it. You know? So tomorrow, we're going to talk about a topic that you're going to remember me for. Barbara will probably agree with me. Especially coming out of my experiences of being, like with the wrong people, maybe sometimes even with the wrong friends, and just living life. There's something that I've realized, and I say it all the time. We're going to talk about it tomorrow. What is your crap factor? One of the things that I say, and I do not mean to be crass, I don't like, I love to have nice words, be elegant, whatever. But when it comes to taking stuff that people just simply want to lay on you, I love to say, I'm not a toilet bowl. I don't take crap. I'm not a toilet bowl. I don't take crap. And because that is one of the identities that I have learned to live into, it's also something that I extend to other people. I'll try my best not to give you the crap that I'm not going to take from you. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow. I think this is a wonderful place for us to stop today. So do your exercise. Take your stickies and decide. Yes, Susie. Take your stickies and write down everything that you think about yourself. What do you believe to be true about you? And then you decide, what am I going to keep? What do I need to change? Not in self condemnation, but in a further and deeper exercise of just simply knowing yourself. It's a wonderful journey, and it helps you to be more relevant and authentic in your relationships. So thank you, everybody. Watch out for the test. If you're on Instagram, just go to my profile. It's already up. You can follow me at Lisa M. Dublin. If you're watching me anywhere else, it's already up on Instagram. Go to my profile and click on the self love quiz. Take a quick and easy little test and see where you score in the self love quiz. And watch out in your email for the results. Thank you, everybody, and see you tomorrow. Don't forget, we have a hot topic tomorrow, okay? What is your crap factor? How much are you willing to take? How do you know when you're taking? Are you a toilet bowl? No, you're not. So you shouldn't take any crap. All right. See you tomorrow, everybody. Bye. Take care. See ya.